Empathy is much more powerful. Forgiveness is, to me, one of the keys to life. But if you believe, like I do, that you're always connected to the most powerful source of energy and light and love and truth, and that truly forgiveness allows us to clear the interference or the corrosion that we feel when we're not inspired. So I'm going to talk about leadership, mentorship, and networking. And I'm going to fly through this, so slow me down if you can't hang. So I'll first talk about what I think are the 5 rules, disciplines of how to be a great leader. And the first is to know your values. And there's 4 types of values that you have. There's personal values. That could be your integrity, your love, character, whatever is personal to you within your own being. And then there's experiential values, which are really important today because most younger people value their experiences much more than how I was raised. They'll outweigh an experience over many other things in their life, which is fine. Giving values, which to me are about building a legacy. Coming from a sports background, I call it, there's the legacy, your name on your back. That's what people remember. And then receiving values, which are to me the same as giving, in the respect that not the legacy of giving, but I believe that to receive is to give, that I make room for things in my life so I can give more and give more. So I really view when I receive the excitement and empowerment and purpose that the more I receive, the more I can do. And the more that I give is just making room so I can receive more, so I can give more. And it's just a complete flow for me. So understanding those values as a leader are the most important thing. In fact, this business is truly just based on teaching people value. We teach 4 values here. It's gratitude, number 1, which I think is the most important thing that you can take away from here. It's a simple perspective. It's one that we forget all the time. It's a lesson that we forget all the time. You're going to learn a lot of lessons in your life, and you're going to forget every single one of them every day. But you have the ability to remember them at any time. And gratitude's one that I constantly try to remind myself. It's the only thing I've been blessed to be around some big world thought leaders and huge CEOs and owners of teams and unbelievable athletes. And that right there is the secret sauce that everybody forgets about. It makes your past unbelievable, your present brighter, and your future even brighter than that. It solves so much when you can truly practice gratitude. I always tell people, you want to change your life, say thank you before you go to bed and when you wake up. Do it for 30 straight days. It will become part of your subconscious, a neural pathway, a habit, a discipline. If you continue to access gratitude in that manner, it'll affect your unconscious competency, your DNA, your actual chromosome and epigenetic level of frequency that you'll carry. You'll start attracting more and more of the higher frequency of one of the greatest truths of gratitude. So that's the first value for me. The next one's empathy, or for me, forgiveness. Empathy is not sympathy. You can't feel bad enough for someone to make them feel good, right? You guys know from your foundation, you cannot feel bad enough. You cannot be sick enough to make someone well. You certainly can't be poor enough to make someone rich. Empathy is much more powerful. Forgiveness is, to me, one of the keys to life. But if you believe, like I do, that you're always connected to the most powerful source of energy and light and love and truth, and that truly forgiveness allows us to clear the interference or the corrosion that we feel when we're not inspired. I believe that I'm always inspired. Someone asked me today, because I think I left at like 3 this morning or whatever up in LA and all this stuff. Oh, you tired now? I said, no, I'm never tired. I just may have to clear a corrosion or interference with what I'm connected to. Physically, I can get exhausted, right? My body will give out on me, but my spirit will never. My spirit won't, because even when I'm sleeping, I practice, I'm constantly in a forgiving state, because I know that I'm going to forget the lessons that I learned, the really simple lessons that I've learned. I'm going to forget every day to smile at someone, to not take myself so seriously, to be thankful, to not pick up a piece of trash. There's just a ton of things I forget every day that make my life better. The next one is accountability. Very important as a leader. For me, 2 questions to ask. What did I do to attract this to myself? And most importantly, what am I supposed to learn from it? I don't believe in mistakes. I honestly, I don't. I believe in lessons. And that if we can continue to learn the lessons and practice learning the lessons, that will expand, allowing ourselves to have more room for what? To receive more, to give more, to create a greater flow, a greater impact, more good, and feel better. Right? The ultimate goal in life is everybody here somewhere between 80 and 120 years, you're going to experience this lifetime, and it's really about how much good you can do. It's that simple. That'll make you feel better, but you'll have a greater impact, and your experience here for those 80 to 100 years, 20 years will be a positive one. Those are the three things. The last thing kind of got into is inspiration. I call it effective communication. In spirit is to connect. So I call it effective communication, connecting not only to each other, but I can only give you what I don't have. That's why forgiveness to me is so important. Is if I can forgive myself, I can give it to you. If I don't forgive myself, I can't give you forgiveness. So many people can't forgive other people because they're too busy passing judgments and conditions, projecting their own insecurity of what they don't like about themselves. Younger years was classic. I mean, I hated my father for every single reason. I hated myself. My dad was a liar. He's a manipulator, a cheater, overseller, back-end seller, and I hated him for it. And then, as I got into my 30s as a multimillionaire, I realized, gosh, sure do hate him for a good reason, because I don't like myself. So I started forgiving myself and making the changes not to be that way, to provide value and to be of service and to be productive and accessible and to understand the energy of money and how to deal with that. So to be a leader, those are the 4 things that I have come up with through my values.